Alrighty. Yo, Debbie coming in with keeping that sub alive. Thank you. Oh, we're on the wrong vertical scene. There we go. Cool. Yo, MJ coming straight in with 5 gifted subs? Doesn't even say hi? Sheesh. MJ, you need to shoot me a DM so I can send you, I can't remember if you won, let me see, did you win a t-shirt or glasses? You want a t-shirt. You gotta send me your deets and shirt size so I can send you a shirt, bro. Thank you so much for that 5 gifted, MJ. Starting off the stream hot. Do we need to do another, do we need to do another giveaway tonight? Like if we hit like 10 gifted subs, should we do another glasses and t-shirt giveaway? What do you guys think? We probably should. To be honest. Ooh, the vertical's getting just my nose in there. That's weird. Maybe I shouldn't lean forward. What is up, everybody? We'll let people roll in here. Let it get started. What up, Heinrich? Hot tub stream. I don't have a hot tub. Sorry. See, the reason why I'm giving away these t-shirts and blue light glasses is because I have them sitting around. It doesn't cost me anything. And it doesn't... Okay, can you just resend it to me? Like in a DM or an email or whatever, just so I have it. That way I don't have to try and go find it. Otherwise, it might be hard for me to find. I have an RTX 3050. Is it an average card or a good card? I would call it an average card. It's good enough to game at 1080p and stuff. It got a really bad rap just because the price point on the 3050 was never good. They were just kind of expensive for what you got out of them. But now that they're like under 200 bucks, it's an okay card. Is this what straight people do? Play with computer parts? Pretty much. I mean, basically what happens here, Sankey, is I get the joy and satisfaction of buying computer parts and building computers, and then I don't have to pay the hundreds and thousands of dollars for the components because the people pay me to build it for them. So this is just like me, like getting that outlet of not having to spend money all the time to get the coolest, newest thing, you know? I don't have to upgrade my system because I get to, mess with these all the time. How much is a 5070 Ti? Anywhere from like $900 to like $1,000, or anywhere from like $800 to $1,000. Their MSRP is $749, but you will never find one for MSRP. They are ridiculously over, like everybody's overcharging for them. It's pretty dumb. So yeah, I would say if you're under 1,000, you're in an okay spot. Which is dumb because the 5080 is not that much more than that, but it is what it is. What up, Trevor? How we doing? Good for you, I guess. Stay blessed. Hey, thank you, Sankey. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I enjoy it. I love building computers. That's why I started my company, to build computers for people, because I really enjoyed it. And it's a good hobby. It's an outlet for me to build more PCs and know like what's going on, all that good stuff. 6950 XT for the win? Yeah, buddy, that's a great card. It's sitting in like my old system. I use it as a test bench a lot, but I have a 6900 XT and it did great. I was getting like 200 FPS in Warzone 1 for a long time. Is it still because of crypto mining? No. No, I think part of it is because Nvidia just doesn't make their money off of... So it's a couple fold. One, Nvidia does not make their money or any reasonable amount of money in terms of overall percentages from gaming cards. They just don't. It's like 10, 15%. It's a very small amount. Two, they stopped making 40 series, like the higher end cards, all the way back in October. So they basically created a shortage. I mean, you could say on purpose in order to help drive 50 series cards, because by the time the 50 series cards came out, there were 0 high-end 40 series cards left, like none at all. So they kind of forced the market into the 50 series. It's pretty dumb. But crypto mining, there's not a lot of people who are still like making money on crypto mining, from what I understand. Like it's not super. It's not nearly as profitable as it used to be. For $500 and some change for a 1440 performer, yeah, exactly. Like you can play 1440 no problem on the 6950 XT. What graphics card should I run with an i5 14th gen instead of the RTX 3050? You could run pretty much anything. Like you could get like a 4060 Ti and get like average 1440p FPS. You could go all the way up to like a 5070 Ti and like still do really well. The 14th gen i5, as long as it's like the 14600K, like it can hold its own with just about any graphics card. I don't have any 40 series left, like literally none at all. Or well, okay, I have a 4060 and a 4060 Ti back here because they're still manufacturing those. But anything above a 4070 to 4090, they're gone. You're never gonna find them on the shelves again. You might find them on eBay or someone selling it on like Facebook Marketplace, but like nowhere else. Desktop with integrated graphics for 200 pounds, what can you get? It's tough. If it's a small desktop, you are gonna have to try and find, you're probably gonna have to try and find like a low profile card, which means you're gonna end up with a lower end card. And for 200 pounds, it's hard to know what you've got in it, but it's probably gonna be an older CPU. 14400F is still okay. It's not as fast as the 14600K, but if you went with like a mid-level like new card, it's still gonna perform really well. Like they have good single core performance. Your 4060 for that 5070 Ti? Nah, not even close. That's worth like a third of what this thing is. New. Oh, Stream Elements is still live on Twitch? Oh my god. I didn't know. I didn't know I still had Stream Elements attached to Twitch. This is like the second stream I've done on Twitch since like 2022. You can still get those old cards available new? That's crazy. Not in the US. Get a 4060 Ti or a 6000 series? Yeah, get like a 6600 XT or something. And you'll be in great shape. I mean, that's not a huge jump from a 3050, but if you get like a higher end 6000 series or a 4060 Ti, you'll be able to do anything you want at 2K. Do I need a graphics card to play? For most games, you do need a graphics card to play. Unless you have like one of the higher end, like a 5700G or 5600G from AMD, or even their newer cards that have like good built-in graphics, you pretty much need a discrete graphics card. What case would you recommend for the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 420? Ooh, man, there's a lot of good cases out there that can support 420. Off the top of my head, I think like the Montech King 95 can support that. Any of the bigger Lee & Lee cases can support that. It's tough though. Just bought my PC 2 months ago, so if I ask my parents to upgrade, they'll slap me. It's fair. It's fair. It's a fair reaction, especially if they're gonna be paying for it. Need a better CPU before anything else. What do you have for a CPU, MJ? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's an AM4, right? Because I know you're on DDR4. I can't believe you guys can get it. I mean, like some of those really old like budget cards you can still find here, but nothing like it. Like you're not gonna find 20 series, 30 series, 40 series new very often anymore, especially not a higher end 40 series. What up, Lemons? How we doing? Okay, let's talk about the build, because we're just yapping right now. The build tonight. This is a pretty nice build. We've got a Ryzen 7 9700X, 2 terabytes of storage, 48 gigabytes of RAM because he wants to be able to game and stream. We've got this 5070 Ti. We've got the, this is the first time I'm gonna be using one of these. This is the Thermalright Frozen Warframe. So these are under $100, 360 millimeter AIO with RGB fans and it has an LCD screen built in. Now, I don't know what all you can do on that LCD screen because I haven't used these before, but an LCD screen on an AIO for under $100, it's pretty sick. We've got the X870 plus Wi-Fi, Asus Tough, 1000 watt power supply, which is a little bit oversized, but it's still good. Nothing ever wrong with going with a larger power supply than what you need. And then we've got some more RGB fans to go in the bottom of the case. And the case is going to be the Thermaltake View 380. So if you guys have seen me build in like Thermaltake View 170s or like the Montech XR, it's going to look very similar, like fish tank with 2 glass panels. It's just a little bit bigger. Great Minds wearing the same shirt. Oh, you wearing your Loot Fest shirt? I have 2 of these because I made Nine give me one of these because it's got my name on it. It says Redneck Engineer right there because I'm a sponsor for Loot Fest. The one that can't be overclocked. Oh, you've got a 12400F. Yeah. That's fair. I mean, there is a lot of upgrade paths if you keep the same motherboard. Like, you could get a 14600K and not have to swap your board or anything. You might need a better CPU cooler, but do you help with like chores? Oh, I assume you're talking to VU. From India in here, we never leave our parents' house until they die. Really? I moved out when I went to college and never moved back. So I was like 17. He still runs a GT 610? That's crazy. I can't believe that thing even does anything. All right, so we talked about the build. I think I mentioned everything that's in here. Should we get started? Is it time to start building? I think it is. I think it's time we start slapping this baby together. All right. We don't need those either right now. Time for the good stuff. What up, silly? What's this thing doing? Don't do that. Why does the Wi-Fi and Ethernet not pull up on my PC? Brand new built. Some of the Intel motherboards don't come with those drivers pre-installed. If you have if it came with like a little USB drive, it'll be on there. Otherwise, I actually have a video on the YouTubes, to walk you through that process of how to get it. You will need access to another computer in order to do it, unfortunately, if you don't have that USB drive. Okay. X870 plus Wi-Fi from Asus Tough. This is one of my favorite motherboards. It's such a great price to performance. Asus makes really good stuff, and their Tough lineup is actually pretty reasonably priced in comparison to a lot of the ROG Strix stuff, which is more expensive. 2060 Super right now, about to upgrade, but I don't know if I should get an MSI 3060. A 3060 is not really going to be much of an upgrade. 7800 XT will be a decent upgrade. A 4060, not much of an upgrade. So either get like a 4060 Ti or the 7800 XT in that kind of price range. And the 4060 Ti is going to be roughly the same cost, if not a little bit cheaper than that 7800 XT. But you're not going to see a huge difference if you go to a 4060 or a 3060. So I wouldn't do that. You have the Thermaltake 240 AO you recommended? Nice. The last thing I had, it was a laptop with a i7 7000 and 1050. $200, hey, that's not bad. Yo, Bones, Simon, thank you for coming in on the stream. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, I mean, it's a reliable machine. It's just not like, you know, it's not high end. Like, it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna do everything that like some people want it to do, but it's definitely a capable machine. Like, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, it's all about perspective, right? Like if you're trying to play, you know, Warzone or something, you're probably not gonna have a great experience on something like that. But if you're doing like normal daily tasks, it's gonna be great. Updated my drivers, but it still shows no network. Okay, yeah, check that out. Because it's not just, yeah. I mean, if you did get the drivers through, I think, what did you say, Z690-A? It sounds like an MSI. So if you updated all your drivers through like MSI Center, then you should be good. It could be your router, for all I know, but it's an Asus. Okay, so like through Armory Crate, you went through Armory Crate and updated everything? 7600 XT. The 7600 XT for who? Who? From the 2060 Super, I wouldn't get a 7600 XT. It's not going to be enough of an upgrade to be worth the money, you know? Yeah, that's weird, Silly. I mean, like, if you were able to update your drivers, then that should mean that you had internet connection, right? Like, I don't, unless you got them on a different computer and updated them somehow, it should mean that you have internet connection. Wi-Fi could be that you don't have a Wi-Fi motherboard, because not all motherboards have built-in Wi-Fi. All right, 9700 XT, boom, done, in. Let's get our SSD in here, 2 terabyte MP44Q. These things can run like 7,000 read-write speed. They're fast AF. Oh, my stream PC keeps throwing a fan speed error on boot up. Yeah, if your temps are fine, then it should be fine. It could be that your maybe it's not plugged in right, like maybe it's not plugged into the CPU fan header port, because Asus motherboards will throw an error if you're not connected to the CPU fan header. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, there could be something wrong with your motherboard or with the firmware. What up, Nine? How we doing? You like my shirt? Like my shirt, Nine? It's got my name on it. It says Redneck Engineer over there. My wife still has claimed ownership of my sweatshirt, so I guess I have to buy a bigger one so that she won't wear it. Hey, Silly, thank you for the follow, by the way. All you need is upgraded GPU. Yeah, just get an upgraded GPU. Be careful with that power supply at 700 watts. You don't want to get anything too high, because you definitely don't want to have your power supply working at full bore. That's a good way for it to not last super long, but as long as you don't get an overpowered GPU, then you'll be okay. The 7900 XTX is an incredible GPU even today. I haven't looked at comparisons to this 9070 XT, to be perfectly honest. So I don't know exactly how they stack up. If I remember right, they're pretty close in performance. So if you can get a 7900 XTX for cheaper than a 9070 XT, go for it. If not, then I would probably get the newer generation one. But it's a super good card. Like it's insane. I had it in my gaming PC for a long time, and it rips, man. Oh, I need to turn my heater off. It's getting warm in here now that I'm up and moving around. Whew. Combo today, we've got a 9700X and a 5070 Ti. If you want the full specs, just type in !specs and it'll list them all off for you. Are you single? Asking for a friend. No, you can't see it, but there's a ring under there, baby. Your boy's tied down for life. But for you, I'd be a swinger. I'd do it. I mean, everybody knows I'm married to Myra, right? I mean, $500 is a lot in a lot of places. You know? Just because I'm building PCs that are a lot more expensive than that, don't think that I don't understand that. Like $500 is a lot. Any ITX motherboard suggestions? What CPU are you going for? Personally, I like MSI, ASRock, and ASUS. So if you get like a mid-level motherboard from any of them, you're in pretty good shape. Estimated cost of this one, I want to say it was a little under 3,000. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was roughly somewhere around there. Waiting on the 9800X 3D. Okay, so I don't think they make X series chipsets for ITX. So you're probably looking at like a B850 board from like MSI, ASRock, or ASUS. I really like the ASUS Tough. You can get those for like a little over 200 bucks. That'll be a great motherboard for you. Okay, let's check out what Thermalright is using for mounting the AIO onto the CPU. Might have some brackets to pre-install here. This AIO is $82, under $100, and you're getting an LCD screen on it and ARGB fans. 360 millimeter AIO. It's kind of hard to beat. Yeah, 3,000 bucks. I think it's roughly 3,000. I could check my phone real quick. Let's see. Let's look at the one I'm building today. It's about 2,800 bucks. That's build fee, shipping, everything included within the US. Shipping outside the US gets a lot more expensive because there's import fees and shipping gets real expensive and all that jazz. All right, let's see what we got in here. We got a USB. It's going to be for our LCD screen. We've got some cables, 3-to-1 cables for our CPU fans. Definitely going to need that. All right, so we've got some standoffs. AM4, AM5, we need that. AM4, AM5, we need that. Got some things there. And we got those. I don't think we're gonna need either of those or that. Okay, that's what we need out of here. Let's double check this. It's not super clear how those are gonna bolt in. So let's just double check. AM4, AM5. So we take those bolts out, put these new bolts in, and then, okay, I see. I see how it goes. All right, let's do this. Going to sleep, A, have a good night. The build is gonna go swimmingly, I'm sure. Gonna build your own PC soon? Do it. It's honestly, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. It will be stressful if it's your first ever PC build, I'm not gonna say. He can put his proceeds to phone passcode in live on cam. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm not too worried about it. Getting into my phone would require physical access to it, and it's always on me, so. And we're not using this Thermalright stuff. We've actually got some new thermal grease that we're gonna be using on this system. 5 a.m., bro. I would have been asleep hours ago. Many, many hours ago. All right, put that like that. Oh, let's make sure we know which way the curve is supposed to go. Curve goes towards the CPU. Towards the CPU. It's really nice that AM4 and AM5 have the exact same mounting. Makes things a lot easier. Yo, what up, Orville? How we doing? It's good to see you. It's been a minute. Have the MSI 70E Wi-Fi AMD 9900X. Dang, that's some pretty serious overclocking on that CPU. I mean, if it's running hot, it could be that you just don't have a good enough cooler. It's not necessarily TDP. And TDP doesn't always mean the max power that it's actually able to put out. TDP is kind of a weird thing. TDP does not mean max power. They're different. Isn't it a bad idea? No, I mean, I get static buildup on my body. So by wearing rubber gloves, it does not transfer from my body to other things. Plus, it's really hard to actually ruin components with static these days. Like me walking around on the floor, I'm building static on my body, but the rubber gloves keep that static from being transferred directly to stuff. All right, that's everything that's going on here. 9700X, 2 terabytes of storage, 48 gigs of RAM. Get this guy out of the way here real quick. If it wasn't the weekend, you'd be in bed by now? Makes sense. Where are you at again, Orville? I can't remember. I feel like you're in Europe somewhere. 3080 and a 7600X. Nice. That'll be a nice build. Okay. Ugh. Here's our case for today. Switch to that for a second. The Thermalright 380. Come on. Come on out. It's okay. Is the top holding that in? Guess we'll find out. Now will you come out? Oh no, there's a bolt there. What the heck? How would you put a bolt there? I guess it's definitely never coming out. I'll put that back before I forget. Z690, 12900K, G-Skill. Steel Legend, 8 GB. 50. Nice, that's a nice build. ASRock Steel Legend, 8 GB. Is that that's a Radeon GPU? It's a UK. Yeah, so it's pretty late over there. I think you guys are, well, I mean, the time change just happened, but I think you guys are 7 hours ahead of me normally. Alrighty. So this case is pretty nice. Comes with 4 pre-installed fans. You know, these aren't reverse blade fans, which is kind of whatever. We're going to be installing some reverse blade fans on the bottom, and then we have our AAO that's going to sit on top. Definitely got 5070 Ti. It's the same price as the others. Where is that? 5070 Ti, 7900 XTX. I think the 7900 XTX and the 9070 XT are roughly the same performance. And they are slightly better than the 5070 Ti. So I personally would go with one of those. AMD does tend to experience a little bit lower, like 1% lows in my experience. So if that's like a problem for you, then you could go Nvidia. But I do like AMD GPUs a lot. Okay, let's get our bolts out here. Nice. Ooh, got some those guys. 3 tiny little, whatever they're called, I can't think, zip ties. Heard the 5060 is supposed to be a rival to 4080. No, it's not going to. Maybe with AI stuff, like with multi-frame generation, but other than that, it's not going to. We've already seen that the 5080 barely beats out the 4080, super at least. All those numbers that they're talking about are based on multi-frame generation. It's 11 p.m. Okay, so you guys are 6 hours ahead of me right now until you guys do your daylight savings time stuff, and then you guys go back to 7 hours. Rate my build, please. Dell PC integrated graphics. Well, unless I actually know what's in it, it's kind of hard to rate it. Just saying Dell PC integrated graphics doesn't really tell me anything. But I mean, integrated graphics is going to mean probably not that great in terms of gaming. Big L. What processor are you using? For like me in this build, it's a 9700X. So it's a 8-core newest gen AMD CPU. What up? What up, Keels? How we doing? Keyless? Come on. There we go. It's a little Dell PC you bought for 20 quid off eBay. Yeah, I mean, unless I know what's in it, I can't really rate it. How do I feel about the new 50 series GPUs? I mean, they're kind of a letdown, both in price and in performance. Like, they're not a huge generational leap from 40 series, but 40 series is long gone in terms of availability, so kind of is what it is, you know? Come on. We usually need our other guy for this one. Seeing the 4080 Supers are by far currently the best. I mean, the 5080 beats out the 4080 Super by a wee margin in pretty much everything. I mean, the 4090 and 5090 obviously blow the 4080 out of the water. But you can't find 4080s, you know? Like, unless you get one used, like there's no stock anymore because they stopped making them in October of last year. Yo, Casper, thank you for the £1 donation. Appreciate that. Is a 7600 XT better than a 4060? Yes, because it has more VRAM. Not by a lot, but it is a little bit better. CPU cooler in this is going to be the Thermalright Warframe. If you type in / specs, it'll give you the full specs of what's going in here. Okay, that is all in there. Flip this up and we'll get a lazy Susan out here. Dare you to make this PC like the Verge? No, I don't want my customers upset at me. I haven't seen the actual video, but I've seen bits and pieces of that video and I was cringing the whole time. And that guy actually has since, like, he went on to an episode of Linus Tech Tips and they like showed him everything that was wrong and stuff, and it was actually really interesting to watch. All right. That's roughly in the middle. Okay, here we go. Ooh, there's a lot of stuff in here. A lot of cables. None of these are like daisy chained to each other in terms of like short cables, so we've got a big old bundle right there. I'll have to deal with that in a minute. Alrighty, HD audio, you're up first. Okay, this thing is gonna have to go for now, because it is 100% in my way right now. It's interesting design having that right there. It kind of blocks, you know, the view of all the stuff down there, which can be nice. But at the same time, I don't want to hear while I'm building. All right. Now I can get my HD audio in here. Heck, oh, just a cable tie thing. Sigma Alpha. Cyberpunk can use AMD and Nvidia cards simultaneously in the game. Interesting. Swap cases and my headphones aren't playing sound. Could it be the HD audio cable? It could be. Could also be driver. All right, USB 3. I think I saw there was one down near the bottom. Nope, up here. Interesting to watch someone building PC live. Hey, well, I'm glad you're here to watch. I think I'll go 30 hours without sleep. I want to see that build. 30 hours, bro. I hope you get a lot of sleep after that, because that's a long time to be awake. I'm getting old. I'm in my 30s. I cannot do that anymore. I cannot. I used to be able to stay up a lot when I was younger, but these days, it's just not for me, you know? All right, so we got USB-C for the case and USB 3 for the case up here plugged in, and our HD audio, so these audio ports will work. Now we got our front panel connector. This is gonna be like power reset, all that sort of jazz. It's gonna come in right down here. Okay, got that. There's a 6600 XT. It's great for 1080p gaming. Like it's not a bad system at all. Parts in America are like 30% cheaper than the UK. I know, because you guys have crazy import taxes. Like crazy import taxes. I mean, you can, but when they send it in, they're gonna get charged. They or you is gonna get charged 20% when it gets imported, plus other taxes and fees. So you're gonna be probably in the same boat, unless you like flew over here, built it and brought it back yourself. You might get away with it. PC won't turn on, but keyboard and mouse light up. Does this every once in a while. It's hard to know. It could be your power supply. It could be a short on the power button. Like you could try pulling the cables off and seeing if you can just like consistently power it on by shorting the two cables for your power button. It's hard to know. There's a number of things. It could be your power supply is being funky. Am I done with your PC yet? No, I'm not. Ammo, is this yours? Is this yours? I didn't know your on-screen name, Okay, we got to deal with this giant bundle. This thing is wild. Hopefully, these all look like they're pre-connected, which is nice. Ammo, is your name James? Look at all this. Look at all this crap. This is craziness. What they're doing to me here. Okay, there we go. If your name is James, then I might be working on your PC right now. Okay. Oh, you're ordering parts to build yourself a new one? Hey, let's go. Okay, what do we got here for ports? We've got AIO pump, we got CPU optional, we got CPU fan. We're gonna use up this CPU optional port here. Pull that through. Chris Wilson, thank you for joining the stream. My laptop overheats when I open Google Docs. No, you cannot have a PC. Sorry. You gotta buy it. I don't have that kind of money. All right, so there's all that. Let's daisy chain our RGB over here. Oh, that feels nice and tight. Don't have to worry about that one coming out. Okay, so here's one RGB. We're gonna have this one on top, and then we got a couple on the bottom. I would like to run this to the bottom if I can. Maybe we should undo this guy too. Okay, got that in there. All right, so we're definitely gonna be running these guys over to this way. God, there's just so much extra cable length, it's crazy. It's crazy. Updated BIOS with your 7950X. Have 130 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit is not that bad. I would change all your stuff to Celsius because when people are talking temperatures, everyone's talking in Celsius. So if you're below like 65 degrees C while you're gaming and doing stuff, you're in good shape. Because what did you say, 130 to 150? 150 is a little high. Hold on. Oh no, that's 65 degrees. No, you're good. If you're like gaming and like actively working and doing stuff and those are your temperatures, you're fine. Everyone just does it in C. So like if you're seeing numbers like, oh, 65, or I'm like, I have a resting temperature of 45, like that's in C, because you're not gonna have a resting temperature that's below the, temperature of your room, right? Like it's not possible unless you're using a freaking AC chiller loop. Yeah, do yourself a favor, change stuff over to Celsius. Okay, so kind of got that a little bit sorted out. Still have a bunch of extra cable length down here that we need to deal with. Get ourselves a nice little bundle there. Got some thermal paste on my hand somehow already. Okay. All right, so that's a little bit more sorted. Let's get another one of these down here. What up, Molly? Just building the PC, you know how we do. What up, Ben? What's up? Good to see ya. We're building a sick freaking PC. Molly. Little Miss Moo Warrior. Your mom. How do I clean my PC from inside? Scared it might damage it. Well, don't use a vacuum if you're scared of damaging it. You don't want a bunch of static. Get yourself like a can of air or an electric air duster and start going to town on it. I like to hold my fans from spinning when I like blow them all out. Do the same thing on the GPU. And then once you've kind of generally cleaned it, then get like a microfiber cloth and wipe off as much things as you can, like fan blades, you know, any flat surfaces, all that sort of stuff. I've had your PC for 3 years and haven't cleaned it. Huh. Gross. What up, Corler? Do I remember you? I don't off the top of my head. ASRock RX 6600. Yeah, it's a decent pair with that GPU or that CPU. You don't need to spam chat. Don't spam it over and over again. If I don't see it the first time, then wait a little while and then you can try. I am on TikTok, Kick, YouTube, and Twitch today. How can I show you my PC? Not in here. You could find my Discord and do it that way. I need to get a command for Discord. Let me see if I can do that right now. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna put a command in Tryx for Discord because I don't know why I haven't already done that. Oh wait, I do. Type in !Discord and see if that works. Let's see if this command works. Yep, it works. Yeah, just type in !Discord. You can join my Discord. And you can put in one of the chats. The air duster is the way to go. Yeah, electric air duster is the way to go. Molly, there you are. Yeah. Okay, so this stuff is like kind of sorted out a little bit. We've got a couple more of these, so let's throw them down in here. Molly, how are you? How are you doing? Planning to purchase an HP Omen. What's my opinion? I don't think they're worth the money. I have an A320 motherboard, 5600 CPU. You should probably upgrade your motherboard and make sure you have good quality RAM, high-speed RAM with it. Do you think sending your PC from India to my country is safe? If you pack it up really well. It's gonna be really expensive though. How much, hon, for this build? It was just under 3,000 bucks. Built, shipped, all that good stuff. Okay, everything in here is plugged in. Let's get our case fans in here. It's got a 9700X and a 5070 Ti. Type in !Specs if you want to see all of the stuff that's in it, though. But yeah, air duster is definitely the way to go, Ammo. Especially if you own a PC, like it's worth investing in a decent air duster because you should really be cleaning it every few months or at least every 6 months. And the cans of air they're kind of garbage. They don't work that well. It's a really nice PC, man. It really is. Make the smoke monster come out. The what? The what? Yeah, these fans are super cool. They're magnetic attachment. So literally you just go like this. Oops. You just attach them together like that. Then you bolt them in, and then you just have a single connector to connect them in to the case. It's pretty cool. So we literally just need one of these three guys. And this is just magnetic on too, that's pretty cool. Comes with long bolts if you want those, and regular bolts. Do you watch WWE? I don't. Never gotten into it. We don't need that. Oh yeah, you can message me. I'm back. I'm back, baby. Well, back from Loot Fest. $1,400 there? Ooh. If you're gonna upgrade, get an X570 board. They're not that expensive in comparison these days. You might as well get a good one. Casper, I already responded to that. Yes. It's like great for 1080p gaming. This is the Thermaltake View 380. All right. So what we're gonna have to do here is flip this on its back. Take this little guy out of here. And these are reverse fans. So you're gonna go like this, and we're gonna put this in here just like so. Ooh, they're even I feel like they're kind of magnetic even to the case. Kind of staying in place. Yeah, if you type in !specs, you can find it. Or if you go to the details of the YouTube video, the live stream here, there's actually an affiliate link for like if you wanted to buy it. It doesn't cost you any extra to use my affiliate link, and it, you know, helps me out a little bit, gets me a little something out of it. Yeah, I already responded to it, bro. Gotta be paying attention. Ah, that's unfortunate. It's a really cool case. I mean, it's very reasonably priced too. Thermaltake does stuff for pretty cheap. I can't look at anything right now. I'm busy. Look at it later though. I don't usually test in games because it takes forever to install them. But I'll be doing stress tests on the CPU and GPU and stuff. Eating, there's no time for eating while we're building. Come on, man. The gall. Eating while I'm streaming. Boo this man. No, I'm just kidding. What up, Tyler? Okay, there's all that. Ugh. Want to learn how to upgrade your PC parts yourself? You can watch some of my build videos for like how I put stuff together. You could send me like on Discord or something, you could send a request for, which way did this arrow go? I can't see it. Looks like it goes that way. Nope, it's not that way. The magnets say no. It goes this way. I really like that it's all magnet. Make sure it's not gonna break by getting pulled apart or something. Okay, got that. Run this back inside the case. Pull this guy out of the way. There we go. Okay, fan plugged in. Get our RGB plugged in here. Now we could daisy chain these in with the rest of the fans technically, but we don't need to do that because we've got enough ports. Ooh, should have plugged this in before I put these fans in. Tight fit on my fat hands. There we go. Got it. Okay. RGB is connected. Now we just got this, all this extra cable length here. Run that through there. Don't know if we'll end up using this cable tie for anything else, but we'll see. We'll see. Cable ties are extra grippy. When I'm ready to see cable management. I tried the best I could. It's not easy, that's for sure. Which brand 5070 Ti? This is an MSI. How poor do you have to be to buy this thing? Not poor enough to be able to spend around $3,000. It's a little less than $3,000, but it was like $2,800 or $2,900. And it all kind of just depends on the price of GPUs that day. You know, what I have in stock or what I can get them for. Okay. Everything that's in here is installed and plugged in. Let's get our power cables out and we'll start running power cables in. Best choice, buying a PC or PS5. I mean, if you don't want to spend very much money and all you do, like the only thing you do is play some games, like a few games, then probably PlayStation 5. But if you want to do more than just game, if you want to stream, if you want to create content, if you want to play games at like higher resolution and higher FPS, then PC. Oops. Probably won't need those cable ties or zip ties, but we'll see. How are you valuing the 5070 Ti? I just, whatever I paid for it. I charge an upcharge based on total cost of components. So I just list all the components at what I pay for them, and then charge a percentage off of that for my build fee. Man, these plastic stickers are always on here, like too good. Okay, power supply. Let's get our power cables installed here. PS6 is better. Get out of here, Jacob. You don't know. You don't know things. Microwave's better. $600 computer could be a PS5 Pro. If you build it yourself and you use some like used components in smart ways, you can for sure. All right, CPU power. I want that one. We don't really need two, but we've probably got two here, so we'll use them both. And as far as I know, we don't need any SATA power, so we should be good there. All right, CPU power cables. Xbox 800 is better. I mean, when it comes out in 20 years, sure, it'll be better. Although their naming scheme makes 0 sense these days, so who knows what it'll be called. This is going to be an AIO. I prefer AIOs for most modern systems if they're not like the lowest end. So anything above like a Ryzen 5 or Intel i5, I would personally go with an AIO. They tend to have they tend to be able to create stabler CPU temps than air coolers. But there are definitely air coolers that are good enough to run pretty much every CPU if that's what you really want. How important is the tape between the SSD and the cover? You don't want the tape there. The tape there is just to protect the thermal pad. You want to take that off because otherwise you're going to really lower the thermal conductivity between the SSD and the heatsink. So you 100% want to make sure that gets taken off. So you did it right. The tape there is just to keep the thermal pad from like drying out or anything if it's not being used. No, don't pull that out. Pull my grommet out. Get back in there. Okay, cool. Stay in there, Mr. Grommet. Okay. It's got all that stuff in here. Let's get this guy in. Actually, we can we're probably gonna run our CPU power through there too. Like that. Grab some zip ties. Actually, I don't want to zip tie these up yet because I don't know what the AIO is going to look like just yet, so just make sure I give myself enough room to zip tie later. And then we'll cable tie these in here. These Thermaltake cable ties are pretty good. They're very grippy. I know I already said that earlier, but I'm saying it again for the people in the back. I don't think these CPU power cables are going to be long enough to use this, but we'll see. Okay, got all that in there. Let's put our AIO in, and then we'll install our power supply. CPU stays around 42C. That's great. You're running your pump at 2200? That's pretty slow for a lot of modern pumps. I always have my pump set at full fans or full speed. You want to get the most out of it that you can. Dude, that thing looks so cool. Look at that, it's gold. PS5 Pro is not that good. It's pretty much the same as a PS5, you guys. Don't listen to Jacob. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm not gonna ban him, even though he's spreading lies in my chat. Okay. Michael or Trevor or Franklin? What? Best PC builder in the world? I don't know who any of those people are, so I'm just gonna say myself. What up, Goofy? Build's going good, man. It's going good. We're only like an hour in, and we're, I don't know, 70% of the way done. Oh, that is full speed? Okay. I mean, some of, like, if it's more than like 2 or 3 years old, that makes sense. Some of the older CPU coolers like that, you know, that was pretty normal fan speed. The newer ones tend to be around 3,000-ish, give or take. But I mean, it's keeping your CPU cool, so, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's great. It's doing its job. Exclamation point specs. Got the 5070, it's nice. Oh, you got a 5070 non-TI? Nice. I have one of those on the shelf too. I basically have one of each of the 50 series and one of the 9070 XTs on my shelf right now, just so that like when a customer puts an order in, I definitely have it, you know? Which is very expensive to just hold thousands of dollars of GPUs in stock, but you know. Oh well. It's just gonna bankrupt me, it's fine. Would I recommend, sorry, I would pair what with the 14600K? It's brand new, but it's an Amazon special. Yeah, buddy. This was from Amazon. This is only $82 on Amazon. It has a freaking LCD screen, you guys. Look at that. Look at that. I gotta bring it down because I can't reach up there. All right, I need my bolts, which I should have opened before I stuck this up here. There we go. Oh, what graphics card do you put with the 14600K? You can put pretty much anything with that. I mean, I maybe wouldn't do like a 5090, but like you could go with like a budget-friendly like 4060. You could get a 5070. You could even get like a 5080. That's a really good CPU. It's got really good single-core performance, which is really important for games. You could honestly get just about anything and be happy with it, you know? It really just depends on your budget. Obviously, it depends on what power supply you have or if you're willing to upgrade your power supply. All right, we're just tighten these down all the way. Wish my friends would have told me an all-white PC is way more expensive than a normal one. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It's the white PC tax, man. All the components, probably just because they don't make as many of them. They charge way more for them. Unfortunately. Can't you afford enough RAM so you don't lag? Jeez. Am I lagging? I have 64 gigs of RAM. It's definitely not the RAM. I am streaming to 4 different platforms right now, though. And running multiple cameras and all that jazz. It could be that you're lagging. I don't see any drops in FPS on my side, so it's probably you. Their OBS is not showing any drops, so it's definitely either you or YouTube. PS5 can't stream to all these platforms, so suck it. It also wouldn't be able to do this. I have multiple thousands of dollars in cameras to be able to do this. So my stream PC has a 12700K. I've got 64 gigs of DDR4 RAM. And then I have a 3070 Founders Edition in it. For capture, I have a DaVinci Resolve, like Black Magic. It's got 4 4K HDMI ports on it so that I can run this camera, and that camera are all mirrorless cameras that are running HDMI 1080p, like native. This one up here could run up to 4K, I just don't. You guys, this is gonna look so freaking good. Okay, I think it's gonna look better this way. Let's just make sure it's gonna reach really well. I just don't want it to block the screen, you know? I think if we just tilt those down, we'll be okay. Yep, we're good. Take that off for now. Let's pull this guy off. We're gonna use our fancy new thermal grease. Old peeps from Always Give Back charity told me about it, and we're gonna use it. It's a PC dedicated to one piece because I'm such a nerd. Wait, what? What's it dedicated to? Stream's good. Yeah, it's Jacob's Mickey D Wi-Fi. Just purchased a 3070 FTW from, I love EVGA. It's my first Nvidia GPU, switching from 5600. That's probably gonna be a pretty good upgrade. What was the monitor name in which you're reading chat? It's an LG Ultra Gear. It does like 1440p, 144 hertz. Ooh, a lot of stuff on that cap. Gonna have to steal some of that. Put it back in there. Just gonna slather some of that on here. The nice part about this stuff is it spreads really nice and gets really good contact once you get it on there. So this is gonna work real well. Because it's not like thick, even if you kind of over apply it, you're not gonna end up with hot spots. It will just spread right out of the way. But if you get it on yourself, it's never coming off. So keep that in mind. As I got a bunch on myself. So what this is, hold on, let me get this cap back on before I spill it everywhere. This is thermal grease G107 from Genel. This was recommended to me by Old Peeps. He's been building computers and doing IT stuff for like 30 years. So he really knows his stuff. I've definitely been learning from him a lot lately. He's a good dude too. Takes care of his peeps. Okay, there we go. Got our thermal paste on, got our plastic off of here. Sorry, I will rechat in just a minute. Okay. Can't tell if I'm on the bolt there. Oh, wow, I was on the bolt. That's cool. All the way nice and tight, top and bottom. Cool. All right, let's run our pump header up here. Goes to this guy. It says AIO pump. And we're gonna run that to the back of the case so we can tie her down. Go, got it. Okay. All right. Okay, I got that in there. Hands feel all slick from that thermal grease. Look at how cute this little AIO screen is. It's adorable. Okay, go down, go down. Just like that, just kind of magnetizes on. We've got our USB cable that goes to it. It's a PC deck. All right, read that. The 4070 GPU, Gigabyte makes good GPUs. I just don't like using their, their motherboards, but their GPUs are great. Scoot that up there, okay. Bend down for me a little bit. Ah! Okay, that is a downside of it being magnetic. Can't pull too hard. Okay, got that there. I'll run this down to our USB ports at the bottom. I'm gonna put it next to all this other stuff. Is that a USB port? Nope. These ones over here. This USB port over here. Oh, my gloves are all slippery now. Got the tiniest bit of thermal grease on them, and now they're just slipping all around. Okay, so now our screen is connected in. You may have missed a question earlier. How was the pinky? Oh, it's great. It feels fine. Mom, what's up? Finally a job worth enjoying. I know, right? Sheesh. I won't mess it up, I promise. As someone who works for a plastic swine equipment manufacturer, white plastic is most expensive, especially when compared to black. Yeah. The other thing too about white is like, you have to like do a really good job to make sure it's like actually white, right? When it's dark and black, like you can kind of have like variances in it and nobody's gonna notice. When it's white, it's really obvious when they're not the same color, right? Jacob says the guy running a PS5 Pro. What? Yeah, Jacob doesn't know what he's talking about. It's fine. We all already know this. I have no beef with Gigabyte products. Like I said, their software and tech support sucks though. Yeah, exactly. And that's partly why I don't like them. Is like their motherboard software and stuff is poop. 4070 Ti and 11700K. Well, you've got a shitty CPU, so whatever. I'm the best PC builder in the world? Thank you. Glad I went up to read that. What's a good professional camera to use? I'm trying to upgrade from a webcam. I have Sony a6000s. That's the two that I have up here. They run 1080p, 60 FPS. The body of the camera you can get for like $400 or $500. And then the lenses I have on these two are another like $500 to $600. But you don't necessarily need to use those. You could use a cheaper lens to start out with, but the Sigma lenses that I have are really nice. I think I have those in the details of the video. You can go look at them. You're all poor people. Why? Because nobody wants a PS5? Get out of here. The only time I ever use my PS5 is for 2K, and 2K sucks. We haven't used this cooler, but Thermalright makes really good stuff. So I'm not really concerned about the quality of this CPU cooler. They make incredible stuff. They do it for really cheap. They've kind of filled the market of when Deepcool left the US. So I think it's gonna make for a really good CPU cooler. You could get a fan cooler for cheaper, but if you have a higher end CPU, you shouldn't really get a tower air cooler. Probably overkill, but it looks good, and that's enough for me. There you go, that's all that matters. If you like it, then who cares? What happened to that 5090 build? Nothing's happened to it yet. They received it. Haven't heard any issues yet, so no fire extinguisher needed. All right, let's work on the cables from our AIO here. So we're gonna have RGB. Oh, these guys all daisy chain. I don't know why it even comes with a separate 3-to-1. Okay, let's do, no, not this way. Okay, look at that. I don't know why it came with a 3-to-1 when these already have daisy chain capabilities built in. Okay, and we're just gonna run this guy back out here, like that, hold it in place, and he's gonna come back down, go to the CPU fan header port right there. Ooh, there we go, just like that. Okay, and we've got all of our RGB, and we're gonna do the same thing here that we just did. There's our RGB. Okay, these connections feel pretty solid, like that, like that. When they don't feel solid, you will use electrical tape, but these ones feel good. Truly Evil mentioned you on stream this morning. Ooh, I like Truly. He came and streamed from my booth at Loot Fest. He's a good dude. I like him. He's a friend. He's a homie. Okay. There's our RGB cable. It's gonna go on this port right above our motherboard power. Is that in there? Doesn't feel like it was in there. I need to chat with him. I want to bring him. I want to try and bring him on as a PC partner. I've been meaning to do it for like months. Oh, it was in there. Okay, it's just a little loosey-goosey. That's fine. So here's how everything's connected. Pump is connected here. We've got our case fans that came pre-installed are connected up here. We've got our AIO fans connected here. RGB for our AIO is there. motherboard power, USBs. This USB is for our screen, front panel cables. Got more RGB. These are covering these fans, as well as, oh, the RGB for the case fans that came pre-installed. We've got a fan header here for the pre-installed fans. Or no, that's for these bottom fans. And then we've got our HD audio. Boom, boom, boom. Everything back up front is connected. So now we can work on cable management. Cable management.
I can never remember how your TTS works. Smiley face.
I think I hear someone using TTS. I can never remember how your TTS works. I think I reset it to do exclamation point TTS. Because it was just TTS at one point. And then everyone was like, nobody uses this like this. I'm like, okay, sorry. I'll fix it. And then everyone's like, I don't know how your TTS works because you changed it. I'm like, sorry, I don't know what to do now. Okay, and then I want to do one more here to hold in that USB 2.0 header.
Got a jet, but I'll shoot you a message about the PC update. Where should I message you?
Specs on the build, Mikey. So this has a 9700X, 48 gigabytes of RAM. We've got an RTX 5070 Ti, a 2 terabyte SSD. We've got the Asus TUF X870 plus Wi-Fi motherboard, a bunch of Thermaltake fans, Thermaltake case, and then we've got the Thermalright Warframe AIO, which has a little built-in LCD screen. And then we put a 1000 watt power supply in it. Normally, I would maybe do like a 850 watt in a system like this, but I think if I remember right, the customer specifically asked for an oversized power supply, so we went ahead and did that. It's not like severely oversized, and like oversizing your power supply is never a problem, so I'm always happy to oblige for stuff like that. Come on. Man. These things are so dumb. There we go. Okay, apparently I missed a cable there, so we'll have to throw another one in. That's fine. Okay. Then we're gonna add these guys to this bundle here. Okay, then we can add this to this bundle here. Okay, then we can add this to this bundle here. Okay, so there's all that. Fairly cable managed now. A few extra zip ties than I would normally use, but it's not terrible. Okay. So there's the cable management so far. It's gonna be hard with like these giant bundles. Like there's not really much you can do when there's so much extra cable length, but it's not bad. Not bad, I think. All right, we can get our power supply in here now with our power cable, and then we'll be ready to put our motherboard or our GPU in. Caden, it's the Thermaltake 308. Mikey, this one's already pre-sold. If you, it was a little under 3,000. If you want something like this, you can go to redneckengineer.com and you can order one like this. If you just go to the custom build form and say like, I want something like the one you built tonight, then I can get you a quote for it. The prices definitely vary a bit right now with how hard it is to get GPUs. I kind of just take what I can get with GPUs, but I think the next 5070 Ti I got at a pretty reasonable price, so might be even cheaper than this build. Okay. All right, so got all that stuff plugged in. Get our power supply in over here. Hopefully I can keep that in long enough to get my power supply bolts out. Again, should have gotten these out beforehand. That would have been the smart thing to do. Ugh, don't do that. This thing's sticking in my hand, it's freaking me out. There we go. Okay. Got a jet. I'll shoot you a message about the PC updates. All right, sounds good. You can email me or send me a message on Discord is probably the best. Hey, you're welcome, Mikey. Hey, thank you for the 5 roses, dude. Appreciate you. Yeah, Mikey, I think my website is linked in my bio on TikTok, so you should be able to like see it and jump over to it. Or you might have to like do a copy the text and paste it if they don't do hyperlinks with it, but okay. So we got all this. Kind of want to like double up this guy here. At least on some of these. Okay, we're definitely gonna go down through this one again. I think we'll try to do this guy through there too. I want this cable tie to be just a little bit longer. Make this easier on me. It'd also make it easier if my friggin' case wasn't rotating on me. Okay. There we go. All that's plugged in. Get our GPU power cable out through here. Should have enough length there to get to the GPU itself. Okay, grommet, come back. Okay, there we go. All right, so cables on the back, pretty well managed. I mean, it's not pristine maybe, but it's not bad. Not bad. All right, GPU time. Intel Pentium, good with a 4070 Super? No. Intel Pentiums are not a gaming CPU. Yo, what up, Scriptural? How we doing? Oh yeah, no, sorry. Of course, the one person in the Twitch chat is spamming nonsense. Super cool. Goodbye. Yes, everything I do, almost everything I do is custom. I do have a handful of pre-builts on my website, but for the most part, Yahit, everything's custom. I have a 5090 in stock if you're looking to buy one. If you're looking to buy a PC with one. So yeah, totally open. Is there a difference between all those brands, same chipset motherboards? A little bit, but not much. Do I have Lee & Lee Infinity fans in stock? Not currently, because I don't keep those in stock. But I'm sure I can get some for a build. Greetings from Poland, what's up? I'm doing a good job, hey, thank you. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of a difference, but it's not a lot. You're not gonna see a huge performance difference between a lot of the different motherboard models if it's the same chipset. I prefer MSI, Asus, or ASRock, depending on like what your budget is. Yo, Casper, thank you for the... I don't know what that is. Whatever that is, thank you for 2 of them. Ah! Stop that. Best CPU to pair with your 6800 GPU if you have an AM4 motherboard. If you can afford it, like a 5700X 3D would be solid. That's about the best CPU you can get on that socket these days. If not, like a 5600X or 5700X would be good too. Get all that plastic off here. Doesn't look like the fans have anything. Just gotta get this guy going. Man, I really like to make this plastic hard to get off sometimes. There we go. There's all of our plastic off of our nice 5070 Ti. Yahit with the follow, thank you. Yahit, if you're interested in a build, go to redneckengineer.com. It should be in my bio. And you can just fill out the custom build form. Personally wouldn't, but I have friends that have had successful CPU purchases from there. Sorry, what I missed somewhere. You can definitely get stuff off AliExpress. You just have to be careful with what seller you use. Make sure the seller that you buy from has like a lot of sales and a really good reputation, and you'll be fine. Don't buy from one that's like, we've sold 2 things in the last year. That's when you'll be probably unsatisfied. Okay, so I want to take out this one. Don't know if I'm able to like wiggle it enough to break that piece off. The motherboard's there. There we go. guess they want you to do this without the motherboard in. That would make it easier. This is a 2-slot card, so we need 2 of these guys out of here. Which 5090 model do I have in stock? I don't recall off the top of my head. It's not a Founders Edition. If you have a specific one you're looking for, that would be helpful. Or ones you're trying to avoid. Okay. Stuff's all lining up. Ooh. There we go. Don't like that thing dangling like that right now. Okay, got all that. Okay, GPU is in. GPU power is in. I need to pull this guy back a little bit. Like so. Let's see if we can fit this guy in there. We'll have to take it out for shipping, but oh, slipped off. There we go. So he'll have to do something like that. He could put it in the back corner too, I think, but I think it would be on the fan. So on the fan of the GPU. So something like that, that's holding pretty well. And it's not touching that fan. So there you go. There's our PC. There it is, all built. Let's get our cover back in here. It went like this. Go like that. Goes like this. That's the right way. Boom. There it is. PC built. just like that. I would put the top back on, but we have to take this. We'd have to take this bolt out, put the side back on. I don't want to put that on right now. Alrighty. Who's ready to see this bad boy turn on? If you're ready to see it turn on, let's see your favorite emoji in the chat right now. Casper with some more things and a rose. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate you. Yo, what up, Swift Killa? How we doing? PNY 4070 versus Dell 3080 Ti. I feel like the 3080 Ti does beat out the 4070, but I can't remember. Bring out the smoke monster. All right, y'all. Favorite emojis in the chat right meow. I'm gonna dim the lights. I'm gonna dim the lights. I want to see all your favorite emojis in the chat before I turn this thing on. All of them. All of them. Casper with the Polish flag, I think that was, right? 4080 defeated 5070. Yeah, if you're not using multi-frame generation, the 4080 is better than 5070. Yeah, I was taking out the metal inserts for the case. A lot of cases have like ones that you just like pull a bolt out of and they come out. Especially some of the more budget-friendly cases, they still use the like single-use twisted off. Anything but Astral? Okay, cool. Yeah. Just put in your custom build request, and I'll make sure that I put it in there. They ship from Spain or France. Have I done a build with a 9070 XT yet? No. I have one in stock, but I haven't sold any builds with it yet. eBay on top if the seller has a 95 plus rating. Yeah, but eBay is like scalping the crap out of stuff. So I don't know if I would go with eBay, especially for something new. Use the Newfie keyboard? I have not. America! I want to see more emojis, you guys. I want more emojis before we turn this thing on. Is there a 3090? There is. There's a 3090 and a 3090 Ti. Gotta go, please turn it on. All right, one more emoji and I'll turn it on. There it is. You put your emoji in, bet. Okay, so to recap, we've got a 9700X, 48 gigabytes of RAM, an RTX 5070 Ti. We've got a 2 terabyte SSD, the Asus TUF X870 plus Wi-Fi motherboard, the Thermalright Warframe ARGB AIO cooler, and we've got the Thermaltake 308 case, or 380? 308? 308 case? 380. The Thermaltake 380 case with some extra Thermaltake fans and a 1000-watt power supply. First ever power on. There it is. She real nice. Good professional camera to use. I think I responded to that earlier, Coven. I've got a Sony A6000s are really good if you get a good lens for them. I've got in the description I have like my setup, and I'm pretty sure I include those cameras in that list if you go through it. Dude, look how cute this little screen is. For $82, an AIO that's 360 millimeters, ARGB fans, and a screen. Come on. Come on, how do you beat that? How do you even beat that? The answer is you don't. Glad I found you on the algorithm sent to the customer order. Hey, thank you, man. I'll get back to you either tonight or tomorrow morning. The little screen's kind of funny. It's adorable is what it is. It's adorable. don't make fun of my little screen. Because look what it can do. Comes right out. You can mount it in any orientation. Really, you can mount the cooler itself in any orientation, and then you want to probably put this upright. But that's neither here nor there. 3000, I'd say it looks nice. It does look really nice, and it's like, it's got really good specs, you guys. A 9700X, 48 gigs of RAM, and a 5070 Ti. This thing is ballin'. Like, we're talking Warzone 1440p, 200 FPS all day. Easy. Can it run Monster Hunter Wild? I bet you this thing could even run Minesweeper. Okay. Okay. Yep, DDR5. You can only use DDR5 with AM5 CPUs. So if you have a 7000 series or 7000, 8000, or 9000 series CPU from AMD, it's all DDR5. Man, something in my throat there. Drink some water. It's a beast. That is a nice looking build, you guys. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I mean, I wish these GPUs were cheaper. You know, like that'd be cool. But unfortunately, they're not. So ideally, this build would be like $2,500 or something like that. But GPU prices are just nuts right now. They're nuts. I don't like it. I know that I'm a PC builder, and so I probably shouldn't be upset at EVG or at Nvidia and AMD, but I am. They dropped the ball with GPU prices this time around, especially for the lackluster boost in performance compared to last gen. It's really, really, really unfortunate. At least it wasn't as bad as the 30. Yes, it's not as bad. Back then, so that was when I had first started my business in 2021. Maybe it was 2022. Late 2021, early 22, something like that. I spent like $20,000 in one day on just like GPUs and a couple of AMD CPUs to keep my business running. Because there was nowhere to buy them. I had to buy them all through like my business-to-business contacts, and a bunch came in stock, and I was like, all right, I have to buy all of these so that when customers ask for builds, I could only quote really with stuff that I had in stock. Because if I didn't have it in stock, there was no telling if I was going to be able to get one, right? So yeah, it's not quite that bad, and I have better, like a little bit better suppliers right now than I did before, but it's still rough. First ever PC I got was during that time, and I spent $1,700 on a 2060 build. That's not terrible. I mean, I guess if 30 series was already out, then it's not great. But I think I spent like $1,200 or $1,300, and I built my own 2060 super build. So depending on exactly when you build it, that was back in 2020. Depending on exactly when you built it or had it built, it's not terrible. Definitely a little bit overpriced from like if it's from like a big OEM, you know. Smoke and mirrors Nvidia. Yeah, it's unfortunate. All right, y'all. PC's done. Unless y'all have some other questions or anything, I think we're gonna call it a night. I think we're gonna call it here. Yeah? What do you guys think? Excuse me. Yes, yeah, check out the last live stream I did on YouTube. I just built a crazy PC with a 5080 and the Tryx Panorama. And I have a couple of, actually have a couple of videos on, on TikTok too. One of them was talking about the Tryx Panorama. The other one was when it attacked me. But it's an incredible AIO. I really like it. I understand that it's stupid expensive for an AIO. Like, I get that, but it's also amazing. Like the quality It's 2K 60 hertz on a 6.5-inch panoramic screen. It's insane. It looks so good. Gonna make a YouTube video when I am going to get all the stuff for your PC and build it. Hey, let's go. Alrighty, folks. That's it. We're done. All right. That's it for the night. Thank you all so much for hanging out, for watching, and yeah, thank you for helping the content, keeping it going, chatting. I love it. It's really nice. Last thing, do you always live stream custom builds? Yes, I do. Unless it's like a custom, like, unless it's like custom liquid cooling, like where I have to like cut and size tubes and stuff. I don't do that live because it just takes hours and hours. But pretty much no one does that, and I usually try and push people away from it because it's just really expensive. But anything other than custom water loop, it's all done live. Okay. Okay, everybody. Thank you all again so much for hanging out, watching, chatting. We had some donations come in. I appreciate all that. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night or day, depending on where you're at. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. We'll definitely have at least one build next week, probably two. I think we have all the stuff in for the next builds. So yeah, we'll be building next week. All right. Adios. Good night. Good night. Goodbye. Bye, 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 bye. I don't know what order I'm going to go in. Probably YouTube. You're going to go first because it's easiest. Bye. And then TikTok. Good.